waiting for him, even though obviously he's in the 5th round. I want to just follow up on a couple of things here. So there's the Deion influence, right? Deion was a two-way superstar in the NFL. Deion was flashy. Deion was extravagant. Deion played another sport in baseball. And it's funny, all of the critiques about why Shadour slid actually should have been applied to Travis Hunter. What do I mean by that? Who's flashier, Travis Hunter or Shadour? I would say Travis Hunter.
Shadour.
I would say Travis Hunter, okay? My opinion.
You're talking about on the field?
On the field and off the field combo package.
On the field, Travis Hunter.
But if you do the combo
off the field,
package.
I don't think it's close.
Okay, if you do the combo package, on field and off field, I would say it's Travis Hunter.
I would say they're both right there, yeah.
Okay, so flashy.
But on the field, Shadour does nothing flashy.
I'm doing this very specifically. Alleged bad influence from a parent. Travis Hunter's dad had to get out of jail to go and see him at the draft. I'm not judging him. I don't know the circumstances.
Yeah, he had to get permission.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad parent. I'm saying he's in a bad situation that he created.
Sure.
Deion's never been unsuccessful with anything in his life, and if he's getting ripped for being too close and too involved with his sons. All of the critiques actually about Shadour should be applied to Travis Hunter, and he went 2 overall. And now he's a much better football player. I understand that. But it's kind of laughable because Deion considers both of them his sons. He's talked about it. Like, that's also my quote-unquote son, right? That's my adopted son, let's just say.
He's family.
Especially in the place of a father that's in jail. Right? Hey, I want to go to have lunch with my dad. Travis Hunter can't do that. Deion serves as that. But we don't hold that against Travis Hunter. And I'm glad we don't, by the way.
Right. But here's the difference. If Travis Hunter's father has gripes about the way that an NFL team is handling his son's career and he talks about it, it's not going to make headlines.
No.
If Shedeur Sanders' father talks about gripes that he has about the way an NFL team is handling his son and his career, it is going to make headlines. We're going to play the sound. We are going to analyze it from sunup to sundown here on ESPN. Everybody is going to have commentary on it, which is going to shine a light on X organization and allow for there to be conversation picking apart how they're handling this young player. And that is the influence that we're talking about. I'm not talking about a negative influence towards Shadour.
Talking about a voice.
I'm talking about what could be influential that could negatively impact an organization and the choices they make on how to handle this young player. And I also think that heading into this, there was so much commentary about how he interviewed badly. And part of it was about his confidence, which I think is crazy. Because don't you want your QB1, the potential face of your franchise, to be confident in themselves and confident in their abilities? But I think they are so inextricably linked. He has been his coach throughout his career. Coach Prime carries influence. And I think that there were questions about when they're separated, how will Shadour be able to present himself? When he goes into a locker room and he doesn't have his dad by his side, can he command that locker room? Can he command the huddle? Can he have the same type of power and influence with an NFL organization if his dad is not linked to him? And by the way, then you have an organization that could view having Deion around the organization or Deion talking about what they're doing in a negative way, because let's be honest, a lot of these places that are picking Shadour as a quarterback have head coaches and GMs on the hot seat. And it's not advantageous for them and their future to have Deion Sanders as a potential adversary. And I'm not suggesting that he would do that, but the looming threat of it, the possibility of it, it takes an organization that has a lot of guts and a lot of confidence in themselves and their job security in order to welcome that in.
So a couple of things off of that, all fair. A couple of things off of that. In terms of the voice, the Deion you're talking about, we haven't seen him actually use that. So and I know you're saying teams are assuming that. Let's wait and see if he actually uses the voice that he has to say anything about his son.
Totally
and
agree.
his role on the team. That's number one. Number two, if Shedeur Sanders is good enough for them to hire his dad as head coach, the team still wins. It doesn't matter that Deion is available as a head coach to coach in the NFL if Shadour stinks. The Bucs won't hire Deion as a head coach. Shiloh, his other son, signed there as an undrafted free agent safety. I promise you, if they get rid of Todd Bowles, Deion's not going to be the guy. You know why? Shiloh's not going to be good enough. If Shedeur Sanders is good enough where Kevin Stefanski loses his job, The Browns are still in great shape as a result. I'm gonna make one other prediction. At some point, our teammate Jeremy Schaap, who's a phenomenal storyteller, will sit down with Shedeur Sanders and Jeff Ulbricht's son, the guy who made the prank to Shadour. Because did you notice something in the prank, the statement from Jax Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons' son, who pranked him saying he was getting drafted? You notice something in there? There was a little note in that statement about the who of Shedeur Sanders. Shadour, thank you for taking my phone call today.
Yes.
Yeah. He's handled himself really well.
There is going to be a story that comes out about that where Shadour and Jax Ulbrich, I guarantee you, will be connected in life because Shadour is going to look at this young man and say, I don't want to ruin his life because he tried to ruin mine. I will bet anything that will happen. How many times you see athletes not taking phone calls from other athletes who try to, like, by accident hurt them or dive for a loose ball, et cetera, et cetera. This guy did a terrible thing. By the way, I think he should be labeled former Jets coach, not Falcons defensive coordinator. I mean, if you're going to have a prank like this, it's former Jets coach. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But the point is, Shadour is already showing his character positively, I think.
Guys,
thanks for taking my call.
Are you
That's
overthinking
important.
this? Like, are we overthinking this whole Shadour stuff, right? Because there has been rumors about how this pre-draft process went, right? There was allegedly interviews where with certain teams it wasn't great, right? Like, if you're on the fence about a prospect and they come in and they're not on the top of the game, it's like people have hired people, right? And, oh, you interviewed this guy's resume looks great. They sit down. They're having issues with it, right? Like within the interview, and you're like, well, that changes your opinion.
No, you're 1,000% right. But let me ask you a question. Because Hembo from Get Up was the first person to give me a comp months ago that I used. He said, this is 6 months ago probably. He said, Shadour's probably Geno Smith. And he was saying that complimentary. Geno Smith is a second-round pick. Was then and would be now amongst quarterbacks.
No doubt.
So you may be right. Let's play this out. Shadour's not as good as we thought he was. Bombed every interview. Comes off cocky. Teams are worried about Deion. Is that enough to slip to the 5th round? Fifth round?
All right, well, I'll turn it around. Tom Brady, do they not need a backup quarterback? Brady's mentored him, right? Like the Steelers had him in the building for for a visit and went with Will Howard. Yep. So like, when teams that need someone are bypassing him, what does that tell you? Is it full league conspiracy to say we're going to teach this kid a lesson? Like, you're not your father. Don't come in here extremely cocky.
No, there's a line that's
but that's the part though, Nuno. Like, even if he bombed all the interviews, he was still one of the 25 best prospects evaluated by our people here at ESPN. Now, either they don't know how to do their job or there's something else at play here. So when you start throwing out the hypotheticals around the whole league conspiring and trying to teach Shedeur Sanders a lesson, I don't know what's true or what's not true. All I can tell you is based on what my football eyes tell me and what our draft analysts have told us is that Shedeur Sanders should have got picked a hell of a lot higher than pick 144 in the 5th round. And I can't say that it's strictly a football decision. Pat Shurmur used to be the coach of the New York Giants, was his OC at college, and compared him to Daniel Jones, a quarterback that Pat Shurmur had success with. This is an NFL-level player. He's a good quarterback prospect. Not great, but a good quarterback prospect. And because of the premium position, those guys always get pushed up. So the fact that we saw so much downward pressure on Shedeur Sanders throughout the course of the weekend, it feels to me like there was something else at play.
It's The Enemy of the State Line, the movie that you and I love, CC. It's the Gene Hackman, late great Gene Hackman to Will Smith. You're either incredibly smart or incredibly stupid. It's not going to be in between.
No.
The Browns either got the steal of the draft or the Browns didn't follow everyone else's lead in the draft.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại kênh YouTube của mình. Mình hiện làm người làm video sáng tạo nội dung trên nền tảng YouTube nha các bạn. Mình sẽ sáng tạo những video hướng dẫn cắt dán cho các bạn này. Đây là những sản phẩm của mình đã cắt dán rất nhiều những sản phẩm của mình đây này. Mình sẽ giới thiệu cho các bạn cách mình tạo ra những video viral của mình nha. Đấy. Để tạo được những video đẹp hay chất lượng cho các bạn xem thì thì mình sẽ cần những dụng cụ như sau. Mình